Hey everybody, it's Tyler Austin. Thank you so much for watching. So the Bulgarian 4-piece flash hider. This thing has gained a lot of popularity over the last few years, mostly thanks to videos and people like Larry Vickers and Garantham and those guys who show off alpha, quote-unquote, AK builds. And it is true, these are very popular amongst special operations folks, within Russia and probably other Eastern European countries as well. And there's a reason for that. These things are exceptionally effective at hiding flash, both on longer barreled rifles and short barreled rifles. They're very effective at doing other things as well. It is a booster, meaning it adds back pressure to the rifle to help cycle the action, which is supposedly beneficial for short-barreled rifles, in which the barrel and the gas port, the end of the barrel and the gas port are very close to each other, so it adds back pressure to help cycle the action. Now, in reality, if your rifle, specifically we're talking AKs here, if they're properly built, they'll run just fine without a booster. And typically, this is only back pressure and boosting is only beneficial to full automatic SBRs, and for us plebes who live under the NFA and the Hughes Amendment under the United States, thanks NRA, select fire AKs are not really a big deal for us. So on semi-automatic rifles, AKs in particular, again, not a big issue. Boost isn't really a big concern to us. Now, it is also very beneficial because it acts as a blast diverter or a blast forwarder, meaning that the report and the concussion from the rifle after discharge is oriented downrange instead of to the sides, like is very common, and especially compensators and brakes, but also flash hiders, most flash hiders to a certain extent, which can become very uncomfortable for teammates working around you, or for people who are next to you in a class, in a rifle class, but also in CQB situations, room clearing, structure clearing situations, which if you haven't done, if you're running especially a compensator or a brake, or even certain flash hiders, that concussive force being oriented to the sides and reverberating off the walls, and echoing back at you can become very unpleasant, not only for your teammates but to yourself behind the rifle as well. It can feel like you're getting bitch slapped every time you are discharging that rifle, which again can be very distracting and very unpleasant in certain circumstances. So this thing again performs very well, and it is certainly in my opinion, it's probably one of the best flash hiders ever made. There is a disadvantage to it. It is pretty heavy. It hovers around 7.5 ounces depending on the particular thread size you get. So it is pretty heavy. That's the one downside to it. Other than that, it works very well, and I can highly recommend it if you are looking for a very effective flash hider for your AK. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this thing and see what makes the 4-piece Bulgarian flash hider a 4-piece Bulgarian flash hider. All right, so let's take a closer look at this flash hider. So here it is. To disassemble it, all you have to do is remove this retaining clip from the grooves in between the body and the end cap. A dental pick is very useful for this. It's a lot easier to do off camera too. There it goes. All right, push it to the side. Okay, and then once that's removed, you just unscrew the end cap. And here is your end cap, and this is what retains your force cone onto the body, and this just pulls out. Here is your force cone. That's what it looks like. And here is your body or your housing. This is what makes up the 4-piece. So you have your body, your force cone, and your end cap, and the 4th piece is the retaining clip. And those are the 4 components of the 4-piece Bulgarian flash hider. This one's brand new, so it's all nice and shiny. I want to do this before I put it on a rifle because as you can imagine, once you shoot this, that will get nice and caked with carbon and residue and pretty filthy. Now this particular one is a US made version, and the only difference between the US ones and the Bulgarian versions is on the original Bulgarians, both the force cone, the outside and the inside of the housing are chrome lined, which are beneficial if you are shooting a lot of corrosive ammunition and you have a tendency to not want to clean your rifles. Other than that, there is no performance difference between the two, and really corrosive ammunition is not terribly common in the United States anymore, especially 7.62. Even 5.45, the 7.6 is drying up thanks to Obama and the ATF banning it. It's import, thanks to Obama, and fuck the ATF. So it's not terribly common anymore. However, if you do find yourself shooting corrosive ammunition, all you have to do is rinse your rifle with running water and clean and lubricate it like a normal human being, and you won't have problems with corrosion. So to reassemble it, it's exactly the reverse. Just put your force cone back into the body. You might be wondering what these grooves are for. These are to help you remove the force cone because, again, once you shoot it, this will have a tendency to want to get baked with carbon, and it will kind of carbon seal itself onto the housing. And sometimes it can be hard to remove, and sometimes you'll have to put like a tool inside here and kind of wedge it out. So put the force cone back into the body, take your end cap and screw it back on. Then you line up the grooves between between the end cap and the housing and slide your retaining clip back into that groove, and that prevents the end cap from unscrewing itself during use. And there you have a reassembled 4-piece Bulgarian flash hider. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please like, subscribe, follow, depending on where you're watching this. I'm Tyler Austin. Thank you so much for watching.